It's day 35, and here's what I'm learning. You can only make these discoveries when you are in motion. You can't think your way here. You can't strategize your way here. You have to move. Because listen, when I first started this YouTube journey, there would be no way that I could describe to you what my life would look like without the fear of being seen because I genuinely couldn't even picture it. And yet, somewhere between then and now, there has been a major shift because I am not the same person that I was when I started this journey. And I mean that in the best way possible. So let's get into it. Now, friend, we are in our Reflections of the Becoming series, and this is where I break down for you what I'm learning about myself as I'm on this YouTube journey. If you've been with me from the very beginning, you know that I started this channel back in December, and I was on it, started strong, and then life punched me in the gut. And I fell off. And I got back on and I fell off. And then I recommitted to the journey back on February 15th. And I've been going strong ever since, friend. And the first real big aha moment that I'm realizing now that I'm at this stage in the game is that my fear of being seen is gone. Now, let me just say this because it's gone in the sense of I'm so comfortable making YouTube videos now. And I actually love it. I love making long form videos. Who would listen? Who is saying that sentence? Because I never thought that it would be me. But here we are. And I mean, listen, I could not be more surprised than anyone else, okay? Actually, I'm very much more surprised than everybody else because I just never even imagined me not having that fear of being seen. Now, this is, of course, me being seen in my office and, or, excuse me, the studio. But this is me being seen in my own space. And so it is definitely a lot more comfortable. And, now me being on a stage, we going to have to work our way to get there. Okay. But we on our way at this point. But I have been realizing so many things about me that I was not expecting. I was expecting that I was going to be learning things about YouTube and how to work it and what it does and all of the logistics and behind the scenes, editor type things. But I did not have on my bingo card that I was going to be discovering so many things about me personally and as well as professionally. So I've been documenting my journey here. So this particular week, let me tell you about the three things that I discovered that really blew my mind, okay? So, as we pull back the curtain, I have to be super transparent and just let you know I really do love personal development. And I've been doing personal development ever since I was a little girl. Like, I grew up back in the Oprah era. Okay. So, I've had the journal and been doing the thing since just a wee little one. Even as my career evolved into leadership in corporate America, I really heavily leaned into personal development because as a leader working with people, that's so much of what I did was personal development and helping other people do their own development as they wanted to grow themselves in their career. And so there really is not a day that goes by that I'm not working on myself. I mean, I'm waking up with my meditation and prayer and journal time and listening to, audio recordings and taking courses and working with my own set of coaches and mentors. Like, I am doing the work. And I don't want you to hear that and think like, "Oh my gosh, she's so perfect. She's always working on herself, la la la." Because to even pull the curtain further back, I have a few morning routines that I rotate through, and I really listen to my body. And I also make sure that I know what I'm doing this week. I know what's on the calendar and when I can have slow mornings and when I need to just listen. We only got time for three things. That's what we're going to do in this 20 minutes, and we're going to bang this out. So I'm not a part of the 5 a.m. club. I do allow myself to wake up naturally, but I have my own internal clock that I wake up to. But I have my morning routine, and there are some mornings when I'm going to have a slow morning, and my work day, I should say, doesn't start until 11 a.m. But there are other days when that's just not the way that it's set up, or that's just not what I need for the day. But I'm always doing work on myself. There just isn't really a day that goes by that I'm not doing at least three things in terms of my own personal development. And journaling and meditation and prayer, those are just three things that I don't skip out on, even if it's just a couple of minutes of meditation or a few minutes of journal time. But I have to journal because it really just allows me to get out of my head, because it's easy for me to be an overthinker. And if I'm going through something, I really need to just get it out of here so that it's not just taking up real estate when I need my brain power, because I only have but so many hours of energy, friend. The capacity gets filled, okay? So, all of this to say that the work is really the foundation. There isn't just one thing that I've been doing. There hasn't just been one single breakthrough that's gotten me to this point. It really is the culmination of all of the work that I've done on myself to get me to this point. So, even though I started this YouTube channel in December last year, and I've been working to get to this point to where I am now, the journey started long before then. The work has started long before then. So, my realization for the week, the very first one, is that the work is really the foundation, because you have to have a strong foundation to build on, especially if you want your blessings and your miracles and all of the amazing things that God has for you. In order for those things to have a place to land, your foundation has got to be solid. So, making sure that you are taking care of you and tuning into your body to know what you need and make it a point to give that to yourself. All of that is a part of building a strong foundation for you to build on. Now, this next realization might just be my favorite, and I love it so much, I might even do a masterclass on this, because I firmly believe it is so important for you to love your days. You have to love your days before you get to the finish line, because listen, I am no different from anyone. I want my results yesterday, okay? Of course, we all want the things that we want, and we want them now. We want the expedited shipping. We'll pay extra to get something a few days earlier. You know what I mean? And I am no different. But that's just not the way that any results work. Anything that I've ever achieved that has been like a monumental, huge dream of mine, it's taken years for that dream to come to life. And I've learned to develop this relationship with time where I don't allow time to hinder me because I'm not so much worried about my time frame of when I think something is supposed to happen because I trust divine timing. I trust that whether it's God, source, the universe, whomever it is that you believe in, I believe that there is a perfect timing, and that has nothing to do with me. So I always trust that all of the things that I'm doing, all of the work that I'm doing, it will not go in vain. And in order for me to feel that sense of fulfillment now, in order for me to enjoy the journey and not get discouraged and not get burned out, I have to be in love with my days because I don't know how many days it's going to take me to get to the finish line. And sometimes my coach, my mentor, Brendan Burchard, he loves to say sometimes we bemoan the journey when we really should be honoring the struggle. Like we have to come to terms with the fact that nothing that we really truly want, especially if it's as beautiful as you envision it to be, none of those things happen as quickly as flipping a switch. So, why be going day after day and not even enjoying it? I see a lot of coaches and creators, many whom I look up to and admire, and I see them taking breaks for like 6 months at a time because they get burned out. And I can definitely see how easy that is to do because we want to be omnipresent. We want to be on every single platform. We want to be every single place that we can be. We want to show up here, there, and everywhere. And while that is amazing, right? And there is some truth to that because success does happen when you're spreading your message and you're really putting yourself out there. But if it comes at the cost of your well being or your relationships, then, friend, it's time to revisit how we're doing this whole thing. When I decided to start this business, I knew I did not want to create another job. I did not want to feel the way that I felt when I was in corporate America. And in the very beginning of me starting out on this journey, I was doing that. I was, listen, sun up to sun down. I was building websites because I'm a solopreneur. So I was doing everything on my own, but at some point it started to take the joy out of what I was really doing, and that's not the way that I want my business to feel. But what's even more important than the way that my business feels is the way that I feel in my life. I do believe that this is my life's work, but that also means that my life comes before my work. So I am focused on building a life that I love, and that is loving my days. Because when I am in that flow and I'm operating from that place, when I am acting in service to serve my clients, then, friend, not only do they love it, but I'm loving it. Everybody's loving it. And then it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there because you love every day that you're living to get there. Does it mean that you won't have some moments that you don't enjoy? Absolutely not. We're all human. We are going to experience the full human experience, friend. None of us are exempt from life. So, of course, those things will happen, but I also don't like to allow anything to take full days from me. So I can have a bad moment. It might be a series of moments, but I learned how to really put a cap on how much negativity is going to get to take from me. Life is too precious to allow continued suffering when it's just not necessary or required. So, I love this topic so much. I'm just going and flowing. I'm loving it, friend. Are you loving it? Because I'm loving it. I told you I need to do a masterclass on this because I truly believe in loving your days. If you want to fall in love with your life, it starts with loving your days. And you have to remember, you are the creator. You do get to create days that you love. And it starts with you asking yourself, what do I need today? And then making it happen. Now, this next realization has really been me redefining my relationship with results and realizing that slow results is not failure. This is legacy. And let me explain what I mean because going through this journey, I was definitely like all about metrics. I need to be focused in on how many views I'm getting, what's the watch time, and all of these things. I was definitely geeking out on how to understand the analytics. And metrics are wonderful. I'm a data girl. Give me a spreadsheet, friend, and it's on. Like I'm having all the fun. And that's still great, right? But what I've really learned is that I cannot be basing my worth or my progress just on metrics alone. And when I was doing that in the beginning, it was causing me to get discouraged very, very quickly. And we have to understand that when we start anything, we always start small. Everything new starts from small beginnings. And that is okay. It is okay to start small because it's really not about where you start, it's about where you finish. And I think that's also just a beautiful part of the journey is being able to see someone in their humble beginnings and to come along with them to see their journey unfold and end up in a place where it's even beyond what you were thinking it would even be. So I'm really just learning how to allow myself to view the metrics and see it just as data and not internalize it, right? And because it's really not anything that I shouldn't expect at this particular point anyway, because it's new. And it's going through its infancy stage right now. So why be down on myself expecting some other kind of results when I'm actually getting the results that I should be getting at this particular stage? So it's been just reconciling that, but also realizing that I'm not just building a channel or building a business. What I'm really building is me. And that is legacy. You know, a lot of people talk about legacy and they talk about what they are going to leave behind to their children or their family or their friends. And all of those things are wonderful if that's what is on your heart to do and you feel like that is something that you've been called and led to do. I think that that's amazing. And at the same time, I believe legacy is not just monetary or material things that you leave behind, but is really the essence of who you are. It's leaving parts of your heart behind with those who love you because that's what people are going to cherish the most. And when I think of my mom and when she made her transition to heaven, it it wasn't even about what she left behind. That I didn't care anything about any of those things, to be very honest with you. In the very beginning, I did want certain things because it just made me feel closer and connected to her. But even that didn't really fulfill that need. What really stuck with me are all of the memories. What really fulfilled me was knowing that she knew how much I loved and adored her while she was here. And that brought me so much peace and so much comfort. And it still does till this day. So, if you are on this journey of growing and you're becoming as well, what is it that you realize has grown that you weren't expecting? Because, friend, that is legacy. That leaving what you believe behind, implanting your love in someone else's life and them cherishing the moments that you've shared, that is legacy. And that's what we're building right now. And that just reminds me of one more note that I wanted to share from my journal entry this week, because just talking about legacy really made me sit back and be so grateful that I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush. And I said it twice because I really want that to land with you. Because I'm in this new space with time and it not being something that makes me feel behind or late, it's really just unlocked this new level of freedom because I'm no longer bound by time, because I already trust and I already know that everything is unfolding exactly the way that it should be. And I know that these results are going to compound and grow into something beyond even my imagination. But I really want us to grant ourselves the permission to not be in a rush. When we think about the fact that we are building this strong foundation and God is going to bless us with building even more beauty on top of this foundation, why would we rush that? Why would we rush to pour concrete on ground that hasn't been prepared? On ground that wouldn't even be able to hold the foundation, even with nothing on it. So, I really hope that you can join me in not being in a rush, because when we are rushing, we miss out on so much of the beauty that is right here, right now. Your results are not just waiting for you at the finish line. You're getting results right now, and they may not be in the data or the metrics or whatever it is that you're using to measure your progress. But I really do invite you to look around and find new ways to find new things to measure, and not just what's happening on the outside, but really what's happening on the inside. Now, this series is not just about my journey, it's about yours too. So let me go ahead and get you your journal prompt. Let me go through my little notes here. Okay. Here we go. What would it look like to love my days first and build everything else from there? Friend. Oh, yes. Oh, that's a good one. I love that one so much. I love journaling. And listen, I know that there are some people who it's really not their jam. And listen, no shade, no shame. But I think sometimes people put a lot of pressure or expectations on journaling. And friend, there are going to be some days when you write 4 sentences and that's just all that there is. You know what I mean? And then there might be other days where you got 2 to 3 pages or more. So, I hope that you enjoy journaling just as much as I do, and release having expectations that it should be like a college dissertation, because no one is expecting any of that, okay? It is completely fine if all you have is just a paragraph or two. It's totally fine. There's no length requirement. But I really do invite you to journal because it is the one place that you can really gain a lot more self awareness and a lot more clarity about you and how you operate and what you really want out of this life. So, definitely go ahead and journal. And if you want even more prompts, I'm going to link a resource for you down in the description. The main character energy journal prompts, they are meant to help you do more of this type of exploration and help you really to step into being the main character of your life. Okay, friend? Okay, so let me tell you what we're doing in the comments, okay? Because, friend, you have to tell me in the comments what is one thing about who you are becoming that you are most proud of right now. Ooh, friend, I cannot wait to celebrate you in the comments because I'm not the only one with something to celebrate around here, okay? Don't leave me hanging. And remember, I love me so much. I don't play about me. And if you hang out with me long enough, you will love yourself so much that you don't play about you either. Okay, friend? I'll meet you in the comments and I will see you in the next video tomorrow.